Fanboy, 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 fanboy.
Zombi U absolutely is freaking terrible. Oh man, this gotta be the worst Wii U game of the year. Absolute garbage. Absolutely horrendous review scores. What did I tell you? This is not worth buying or wasting any sort of money on it, even any kind of attention. I mean, Zombi U is trash. Basically I guess it's supposed to be a first-person shooter survival horror game from Ubisoft, but it's absolutely disappointing. It's crappy. It's absolute... Actually, you know what? Let me take that back. It's not disappointing, because if you say it's disappointing, that would imply that you had some level of expectation. Like you thought it could have been good. I knew this was a pile of tripe from the beginning. Have you seen that? Remember that E3 trailer? It was completely garbage. Completely slow-paced, bad graphics. You're supposed to use the Wii U gamepad. Absolutely not working right. You know it was going to be a flop. The controls are tedious. It's crappy. It's supposedly, I mean, you could switch different characters. Like if you get killed, you play as a different character. The player can assume the roles of various survivors during the game. And it's a reboot of Ubisoft's older game from like back in the 80s called Zombie. And this should have stayed freaking non-rebooted. They should have never tried to re-release this freaking... I guess now it's a franchise or a series. Absolutely, completely freaking failure. Let's take a look at some of the scores, okay? And obviously the most important reviewers out there, a little company called GameSpot. Anybody heard of GameSpot? They gave this game a 45. That's right, a 45 out of 100. Right now, and let me actually read the actual review. With an uninteresting world and dull combat, the survival horror game Zombi U is a weak link in the Wii U's launch lineup. Oh man! I mean, what a scathing review. It's actually a 4.5, but the way that they, showed it here, it's 45, 4.5. It's, it's all out of 100 or out of 10 anyway. There's really nothing good about it. I mean, they mentioned that it had pretty fun multiplayer, but honestly, in 2012, nobody plays multiplayer. That's right. Everything is single player only, campaign, and that's all that matters. Multiplayer is so freaking 90s, okay? What is this? Like, PlayStation era? What is this? Sega Saturn? The Dreamcast is gone. The Dreamcast is over. Those years are gone. StarCraft. This is back in 98. It's not the 90s anymore. All the games now focus on single player and storytelling. The bad. What's the bad? Heavy emphasis on dull melee combat, uninteresting puzzles, and mission structure. The Wii U gamepad adds very little, almost nothing, and hurts the immersion of the game. My goodness, a 45! This is the most embarrassing launch game I've seen in a really long time, if not ever. This is a failure. The Wii U sucks! The Wii U has nothing. The worst game, the worst launch, the worst system. How is the Wii U worth buying now? With this pathetic tripe. I mean, I considered getting this at launch, but I mean, obviously, there's no point of buying it. There's no point of purchasing this terrible system. And you take a look at the other games, like, like New Super Mario Bros. U. I mean, that game is just a fail. It didn't get as low as the scores as this one, but even that one is not doing good. Nintendo Land, the same thing. Nothing is worth buying on the Wii U, therefore the Wii U is not worth buying. It is a fail of a system. It's garbage. It sucks. It stinks. It's a complete freaking utter disappointment. I mean, look at Game Informer, a 50. Give it a 50. Oh, man. Games Radar, a 60. Even IGN gave it a 60. Yeah, a 60, man. That's a really low score. That might as well be an F. That's an F. Would you honestly, in your entire freaking life, play a game that's like a 60 or a 63 or something? You know, actually, IGN gave it a 63, but you know, no positive scores. Absolutely dreadful. Overall, man, Zombi U is just a 6.8 from the user score, so it's around right around there, the same like level of score with the critics. So a metascore of 70 and a user score of 6.8. Oh my goodness. Let's go read some user reviews. Oh man. Nintendo ought to be ashamed of themselves for releasing this pathetic, pointless system. Absolute trite, man. Look at Parlokin. Parlokin says, it's overhyped, underdone. He gave it a 3. This is a familiar game to many of you. Whack-a-mole. Remember the arcade? You hit randomly appearing moles with a bat. This is the same, only with zombies. There's no story to speak of. The graphics and sound design are a letdown. The gameplay is tedious. The horror is calling this a launch title. A 3 out of 10. Utter freaking failure. Another one from Mountain Joe, gave it a 1. Massive hype, massive fail. If you feel like walking through an ugly game playing whack-a-mole all the time with a cricket bat and zombies as target, you'll love the game. If you're into great survival horrors, don't waste your money here. Everything is poor in this game. Graphics, fighting system, gamepad gimmicks. I can't believe people are giving 10 to this garbage game. Wow. Yeah, I mean, there's some people that's giving it a 10, but obviously these are Nintendo D-Riders. You know, I mean, what are you gonna do with a bunch of pathetic freaking fanboys? I mean, if you want a good game, you want a really good game, there's only one choice here. And, I mean, I can't believe I have to say it, because it's so obvious at this point. It's so clear that the greatest game in history is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, coming out next year, 2013. Oh, can't wait for that. You know, I'm just waiting for the pre-order. You know, can't wait for it to come out. You know, brand new COD installment. Guaranteed it's gonna be amazing. You know, they have Bill Murray, or, you know, the actor. He leaked it. You know, there's talks of a brand new COD coming out next year. I mean, you want a good first-person shooter with zombies, you gotta go with COD. I mean, that's the king of video games. It is the only video game series, it is the only video game franchise that matters, that's worth buying, that's worth spending money on. Year after year, they deliver. And Modern Warfare 4, or whatever they decide to call it, Call of Duty 2013, Game of the Year. Guaranteed. Let's go to one more user score, user review. Forever. He said, he gave it a 4. Again, disappointing Nintendo gamers of old. My analysis will not for the quality of the game, but the console. The Nintendo has unlearned to be simple, direct, and no quality. From now on, every game will surely contain just frills, nostalgia, when players just want to play with a simple control without further ado. So basically, this guy is saying that everything is just a gimmick, and it's Nintendo just relies too much on nostalgic stuff. So that's pretty much it. I mean, the Zombi U stinks, it's not worth buying, and the Wii U is a flop. So that's it, man, for this episode of Fanboy Reviews. And until next time, keep fanboying. Yeah!